there's going to be a highway where you can actually enter the university up here, except now you have to come by US or 65 or US 52. There's going to be the US 231 corridor opening off to our west, so that's going to serve as the new gateway to campus on this northern point. Cary Quad, over here on our right, is the all-male residence hall complex on campus, and at its capacity can hold up to 1,100 residents. But a little bit more importantly for some people is across the street is Ford Dining Court. It's the largest of the 2 standalone dining courts of those 5 I talked about earlier, and its specialty really is pizza. So it has a pizza hearth that can produce about 120 pizzas every hour. So there's a large variety of pizzas in there, whether you want chicken Alfredo pizza, or sun-dried tomato pizza, or spinach pizza, or just pepperoni pizza, or sausage, or cheese. They'll have pretty much any of those available for students through there, but they also have a really good dessert line. Their chocolate chip cookies are awesome. And all of these are all you can eat once you get inside. So once you're inside, you swiped your ID or you've paid at the door, it's all you can eat. It's a lot like a cruise ship in a lot of ways, because there's different thematic dining inside, and it's all you can eat all the time that they're open. So really kind of cool complexes to have. Like I said, we're voted best food in 2004 in the United States, so really nice complexes for students to have here on campus. The area we're going through right here right now is mostly privately owned or leased spaces or part of the Greek system. Once again, so students can come here, they can privately rent apartments or houses that are located in this part of campus, or they're part of the Greek system through here. Over on our right is the BCC, the Black Cultural Center. They have a literary collection there, which is counted as one of the 12 libraries on the West Lafayette campus. And their main mission in there is devoting or promoting diversity on the Purdue campus, as well as the history of African American culture in the United States and at Purdue University in general. So you also get a certificate program I just learned about in there. It's a diversity certificate that can get added to your diploma, where you take several different classes and the curriculum that they set up to basically show that you've gone through the diversity training, so you're probably better able to work in diverse work teams on the international scale, or in the United States. You have a lot of different cultures converging within the country that are going to be on work teams, and so learning how to work with people from different cultures, different beliefs, and different backgrounds is something that's really highly valued by especially a lot of the employers that hire from Purdue. So it's a really great thing and a great asset for students to be able to put on their resumes and on their transcript as well. Over on our left is Lawson Computer Science Building. Purdue is the first university in the nation to establish a computer science major, and now in 2006 when that building was finished, they got to put it all in one building. So that's a brand new building, well, kind of brand new, it seems new to me anyway, for the computer science building. And the Armory is just over here on our left. It houses the ROTC program for Purdue. We have ROTC departments of Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. And in last year, the Air Force ROTC program was voted the best ROTC or Air Force ROTC program in the United States. Over here on our right is Elliott Hall of Music. I mentioned earlier that Purdue does not have a school of music, but it does have PMO, which is where the All-American Marching Band is organized, where the Glee Club, the Purduettes, the vocal groups, or the symphonic band, or the jazz band, or the orchestra, they're all headed out of PMO. So those students aren't getting degrees in music. They're getting degrees in engineering, or they're getting degrees in chemistry or management. They're just people that still want to play music. They're still passionate about it. So Purdue has a lot of different opportunities for students to participate in music performance or theatrical performance. You're just not going to be able to get a degree doing that. But their offices currently are in Elliott Hall. They're getting a brand new building built for them, which should be ready, I think they said, around 2 years from now or so. Other than that, Elliott Hall is one of the largest proscenium theaters in the world. It was built by the same architect as Radio City Music Hall and currently seats about 25 more people than Radio City does, just under 7,000 people. Graduation is held there this past May. Over 3 different days and 5 different graduation ceremonies, Purdue graduated just under 7,000 brand new alumni, myself included. Mine was the only one arranged for, so... Anyway, they also have the oldest radio station in the state of Indiana in the basement. WBAA broadcasts National Public Radio on the AM station and classical music on the FM, if you're interested. And also does evening exams there from 6 to 10 in the evening for undergrads, where they can proctor a huge exam section all at the same time. The Johnson Building for the School of Nursing was just behind us. They have a mock ER in the basement where they have mannequins that can simulate things like pulse or stroke symptoms. They can also throw up on you, which I really want to see that I haven't seen yet. They have a maternity mannequin, which can simulate a live birth. All really cool things I still haven't got to do a tour of. They're down in the basement that sound really interesting. So students in School of Nursing can get a hands-on experience working in surroundings and with events that they might be working in their professional occupation, but before they actually have real people they're working with. Over here is the School of Pharmacy building. It's one of the top 5 pharmacy schools in the United States. It's a 6-year program. and most of their departments all housed here in the pharmacy building. The building on the opposite side of it, on the right-hand side, we're going to see is PUSH, which stands for the Purdue University Student Health Center. So it's kind of acts like an urgent care on campus. If you get sick while you're here in West Lafayette, you can come over to PUSH. They can prescribe you something if you're sick, like you have the flu or you have a cold. If they do prescribe you a medication, you can actually walk right across the sidewalk over here to the pharmacy building and get that prescription filled for you by the pharmacy professionals on campus. While we're stopped, has anybody heard the story yet? How we became Boilermakers? How we got that name? Alright, so in 1899, Purdue had a banner football season, alright? We outscored our opponents over the season 192-0. They never scored on us, and we scored a lot of points that year. So one of those wins came over Wabash College, which is still an all-male liberal arts college, just 20 minutes to the south of us in Crawfordsville. At the time, Purdue was really kind of considered the blue-collar industrial class school. We had majors like agriculture, mechanical arts, where people had to do things with their hands and had to work really hard and got really dirty. And so Purdue had people that would work for the Monon Railroad Corporation here in Lafayette, that would drive railroad ties in, that would repair railroad equipment like boilers for trains. And so we had really large guys, and they didn't. So a Crawfordsville reporter got awfully upset, said that we were pulling people off the police department from Lafayette. We were just pulling people off the railroad line to come play football for us. And so they called us the burly Herculean Boilermakers of Purdue. It was meant as an insult. It was an insult to work on boilers for trains, or work really with anything that involved your hands. But the students here liked it, and in 1906, the Exponent, which is the student newspaper, which is still here at Purdue University, made it official, and we became the Purdue University Boilermakers, and the Boilermaker Special became our mascot, the train. We also have the Extra Special, if you've seen it on campus. It's the baby train that runs around. And we became, like I said, the Boilermakers, which is a lot better than a lot of the other names they were considering, which would be like Clod Smashers or Cornfield Sailors or something horrible, which would have been absolutely embarrassing, but we did become the Boilermakers, which was the best choice of all the available options I saw that they had back then. If you didn't notice earlier, I will talk about it now once we have a little bit of time. Right over there is the statue of Neil Armstrong. It's supposed to depict his time spent as a student here at Purdue University. He has his penny loafers on, his little jacket. He has his engineering books sitting next to him. His slide rule is out. There's also the "One Small Step for Mankind" quote, kind of an elliptical pattern around the statue, and then castings of his original moon steps coming out of the Apollo landing craft, coming off here to the west, kind of towards the Purdue Arch. He did jump, and so if you can go out there and mimic his steps and then make the jump, you'll probably get a scholarship pretty easily in the athletic department. I've never seen anybody come close, but yeah, it's a pretty long jump through there. You can kind of see some of the steps out there in the grass. I've seen a lot of students try, and a lot of them fall. It's hilarious every time. Armstrong Hall of Engineering, like I said earlier, does house the I2I labs, which are the first-year engineering labs for first-year engineering students. And it takes them pretty much through the entire process of engineering, from the very beginning parts of creativity and teamwork and creative design in the design lab, all the way to the prototyping stage. There's 3 rapid prototypers in that laboratory as well, so you can design a 3D replication of whatever you're trying to build in the CAD system, and then that printer actually prints out a 3D copy of that in resin. So whether it's an aircraft wing or a wrench that actually is able to be adjustable, it's kind of a really cool thing that first-year engineering students get to have a hand in, to get an overview of the entire engineering process. Over on our right is the physics building. If you haven't noticed so far, Purdue isn't overly creative in the naming of the buildings. If it says the building is physics, it probably houses the physics department, and that's what that does. MSEE is home to material sciences and electrical engineering. If you look through there, you can see into Purdue Mall. Most students would refer to it as the engineering mall because engineering is so dominant in this side of campus, but it is technically called Purdue Mall, and you can see it through there. It's not accessible by a motor coach, however. Electrical engineering is now the building over here on our right, and under the annex, which is right here, is the Purdue Research Nuclear Reactor. I have got to see that. It's a really cool complex down there. It's for students in nuclear engineering to get a hands-on experience, not only working with isotopes, but you can also do your certification to work in a nuclear reactor in the U.S. there as well. And over here on the corner is